Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, I'm going to guide you through creating a tangle called Verve using the Zentangle method of drawing. I have an 03 micron pencil, a Zentangle brand graphite pencil for shading, and a tortillon for blending. Feel free to use any markers, pens, whatever you have on hand. If you'd like to shade, any pencil will work. And if you don't have a tortillon for blending, you can use a Q-tip or the corner of a tissue. All right, I'm using a 2" by 2" Zentangle tile. I like to work small in my 15-minute videos. In today's, Today's tangle is called Verve by JJ LaBarbera. Okay, we usually start by putting a dot in each corner and then connecting those with lines. Your lines can be straight, curvy, whatever works for you. Okay. So to create Verve, we start by making a small circle somewhere on our paper. I'm going to put mine down here in the corner. And then you have options even with this circle. You can leave it plain. You can decorate the inside of it. I like to fill it, but leave just a little sparkle. Okay, now I'm going to make an S shape, and I'm going to start by going over the top and then coming down the side. So over the top and then down the side. And then directly across from it, I'm going to repeat that S shape by going over the top and coming down the side. Okay. Now I'm going to aura that first S that I made by going up just a little bit towards the top of that. And I'm going to aura just by following that line down. I'm going to do this several times. Just following that shape. Just like that. Now I'm going to aura this side. And I'm going to make that same S shape. Each time, just starting a little bit further away. I'm going to do one more. Or I'll add one more on this side. That is Verve. So we're going to fill this little tile with more Verve. So I'm going to put a circle right about here. And I'm going to fill in the circle, except leave a little sparkle. And I can make this go any way I want, but I'm going to make that S shape attach on that side. And over here. Remember, you want them across from each other. And then I begin making those auras. You can make these lines as close together or as far apart as you would like. If you use a very thin pen and make them very close together, it becomes very detailed and intricate. Okay, I'm going to add another one. This time, again, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just sort of placing these dots wherever I feel like it. Make that S shape this way and the opposite way. So Verve is definitely a fun one to do as a mono tangle like we're doing right now. But it also works really well with almost any other tangle that you do. It can fit in a large space. It can fit in small spaces, different shapes. It can really go anywhere. All right, I'm going to do one right here. I'm going to do a backwards S this time. It's so fun that it can go in such an odd area and still work. So make sure you're holding on to your pen lightly. And your shoulders are relaxed. This is meant to be relaxing. I like these tangles where once you make the first step, then you can just sort of let your mind wander. You don't have to plan the next step. You kind of know where it's going to go. Okay. So I think that's all the Verve I'm going to put in. So now I have all these extra spaces to fill. So what I'm going to do is pick something to aura in each space. So right here, I'm going to aura this line, and I'm just going to act like it was still going. And up here in this little spot, I'm going to mimic that line. Over here, I'm going to continue this. And look at how quickly those spaces get filled. I just love this one. Remember to lift your pen as it goes behind. Couple more spaces to fill. So right here I have lots of options, and I think I'm going to pick this one because it's the furthest behind. You know, this is kind of on top. It's on top of this one. It's on top of this one. So I'm going to mimic the one that's the furthest behind. Look at that. And I love Zentangle that you don't even really know where you started, which way is the top or the bottom. Okay, here's a great spot if you want to take a screenshot. This is a wonderful before and after tile of before you shade and after you shade. So I'm going to pick up my pencil and do a little bit of shading. So there's a lot of shading. I'm going to go through it kind of quickly. I apologize. But basically, we're going to take each of these waves, and wherever it goes over other lines, we're going to add some shade. So right on the outside of this, and my lighting is kind of bad. There you go. Add a little bit of shading there. This one goes over a whole bunch of lines. So I'm going to make that shadow go on the outside of that. This line here goes over these. I'm just going to keep turning my tile and finding these little spots where one line goes over others. Shading is one of those things that you don't have to do, but it can really change the look of your tile. I'm doing this rather quickly, but you really want to make sure that that shading goes right up against that line. And then right here, I forgot this little spot where it goes over this way. And it goes over here. And if I look at it again, I notice that right here, there's a spot that I missed. Sometimes you just have to go back and look at it again. And then on this one, I really like to add that graphite all along the edge as if these lines are disappearing behind that frame. I'm laying it down kind of heavy. And quickly, I apologize. And after I have all those spots done, then I take my tortillon and I take each of those little shadows and I spread them out and soften them. So I'm pushing away from the line that I made to make it look like these little ribbony waves are tucking under. And there's a little shadow where they tuck. Do the whole outside edge. I really love this part of creating this tile. You want to make sure that when you're spreading it, you're not spreading it too far, because these white areas are really what makes that contrast of the shadow versus the part that the light is hitting. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there for now. Look at how deep that looks. Isn't that beautiful? I didn't do this side here. I love that. Okay, I know I went quickly, but I want to do a couple more things. So we need to initial our tiles. Putting your artist chop on a tile makes it your own. And then on the back, I always write the date. And then I write one sentence of just a little journal entry, something that's on my mind or on my heart this week. Okay, before I go, I want to show you that you're welcome to end it here, but also, if you would like, these are really fun to add enhancements to. So you could pick a line and add some little circles. You could add maybe some striping. Isn't that cool? Maybe a zigzag. So feel free to add whatever you would like to it to make it your own. Thank you so much for joining me.